Gibson.
She's good at life
Funniest
drawing.
thing.
Life drawing. She was my life drawing teacher.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
That'd be great.
I didn't know.
She's
Where?
Art Center.
You went to Art Center?
I'm doing the night classes. I went to USC, but I'm doing the night classes.
Oh, so she was teaching a night class there.
Yeah,
Oh, good
she's
for her.
the best life drawing teacher I've ever had.
I love her.
Okay,
I've had
cool.
3 different life drawing classes. She is by far the best teacher, life drawing teacher I've had.
Okay. So I'm going to just post that we're live and then we'll start. Post. Dear Internet. Dear Internet. We are starting to film DrawMelt. DrawMelt. Right? Meow. With Christine Wu. And then pictures. Boom, boom. What?
I'm trying to talk to them.
Oh, that's fancy. It's like a producer's mic.
Exactly.
Ah.
Should have worn the t-shirt that said so.
Right?
Yeah.
Or in here you need like a tank top because it gets hot. All right. Okay, I guess we could start. Okay.
And this is for
One.
us to...
Yeah, these are our
Okay.
papers. Okay, 2, 3. Welcome to DrawMelt, the live streaming, life drawing event where you get to peek into the mind of your favorite artist. I'm your host, Satine Phoenix, and today we have a very special guest who just flew in from New York for the opening for our solo art show at Miss
Hi.
Christine Wu.
Christine.
She is a fine artist. What kind of paint do you use?
I typically paint in oil paintings, and I do a lot of mixed media work, so oftentimes it's not just oil painting.
Cool. Why don't we show some of your work on the screen? Yeah, look, there it is. Why don't you talk about your show?
The show that I have coming up is titled Sleepless, and the concept behind it is the idea of the things that go bump in the night and all the things that keep you awake. And a lot of the work in the show has to do with vulnerability and the idea of emotional trauma. And so all of my work is very, very intimate, and I typically work from models that are my friends that I know well so that I can capture that very special sense of intimacy in the work. A lot of the paintings are in a very, very muted color palette, and that's just to echo a sense of kind of isolation. And all the figures themselves are just single figured, although they do have a more feel to it, because I like to layer my images on top of each other to get that movement going on. And to me, that specific kind of movement is a lot like memories and a twitch, like whether or not you remember something specifically or you misremember it, because we have a very, very strong tendency to misremember things or just not exactly the way they were every single time.
The one thing I really like about your stuff, and we've been friends for a long time, and we've never talked about our art styles together, so this is really cool. But I love the intimacy of your stuff, but also it's like solitary, like you get to peer into one person's like silent moment.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of like eye glances, a lot of hands in places that are like, I guess, vulnerable places.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to start doing stuff like that?
It's not really a want, more like a need, just because it's not like I choose specifically. Like some people, they say like, oh, I'm going to draw a Coke can with a bear on it or whatever. But for me, I look more for the emotional rather than the actual physical being of it. And so I've always played with the idea of isolation and just being alone, because for me, I really, really enjoy my alone time, and it's very important to me. And it's just something that I find very special. So in my work, I try to capture the moment of a sigh more or less.
Yeah. And it's funny because that's exactly what I get from your art. And there's like, there's an intimacy, but also a sensuality. Like there are these like traumatic things that we all go through, but we're still human, and there's something like dark about your work, but also sexy. I mean, that's my interpretation. So I don't know if you're going for that, but
Well,
it's a little like sexy, intimate.
Well, it's
dark
definitely
art.
sexy, but that's not something that I focus on. I think it's the rawness of it that translates into sensuality, because when you feel like you have such a deep connection with something, it's almost as if you're transcending your physical body. Like, it's like an orgasmic feeling almost. And so
You captured that. Like, it's cool to watch. Like, I'm really excited to see this show. And how big are the pieces?
some of them, the largest piece is, let me think, it's 40 by 60 inches.
This big?
It's like about,
That big?
yeah, it's about as wide as the both of us, and probably as tall as how we're sitting right now.
Oh, wow, it's huge.
It's pretty big.
How many pieces?
I think there's 30 pieces that I've done.
God. No wonder I haven't seen you over here.
Yeah.
She moved here. She moved to New York recently from Los Angeles, and I literally haven't seen her since because she's just been working in her art cave.
Yeah. And the smallest piece in the show is like little 3x5s, which a lot of people really love because, again, with the idea of intimacy, it's something that you can hold, and it's small, and it feels very, very precious.
Like this.
Like that. Just like that.
So where is ThinkSpace?
ThinkSpace is in Culver City on Washington Boulevard near La Cienega, and it's a really, really cool gallery, and they're all these sweethearts there that run it.
No. So that is, it goes from January 23rd, 2016 until...
February 20th.
Okay, and if people that are, overseas or not in Los Angeles want to see your work and purchase it, do they have a website that
Yes,
they can go to?
they do have a website, and you can ask to get onto their mailing list specifically for the show or for any future shows by emailing them at thinkspacegallery@gmail.com.
ThinkSpace Gallery.
No, wait, nope, that's completely wrong.
Rewind.
It's contact@thinkspacegallery.com.
Cool. So yeah, if you see her stuff on the internet and you want to purchase it, you can go to there, and we'll put that in the show notes so that people can just click the link, and we'll make it really easy for them to buy your work, because that is what we want. We want to make it easy for you guys. So tonight we are going to be life drawing. We have Lauren Ipsum, who's hanging out in her bunny outfit. I don't know if we can see. Why don't you stand up? She's a Playboy bunny. I guess we're not gonna look at you. Okay, never mind. But we're gonna do some quick gesture drawings, maybe like 10 1-minutes, and we'll take a break. We'll have some chats in between. Probably for the gesture drawings, we'll be frantically drawing, so won't be talking very much about that. But then we'll do a longer, probably like 20-minute or 30. What do you like?
Because I haven't done life drawing in quite some time, I don't know.
We'll do how we do.
Yeah.
So another thing that we do is I draw on these really cool pieces of comic book board, and you can purchase any of my numbered drawings for, I think it's like $15 or something on shop@xsn.com, and 10% off. And you can buy it you can like order it while I'm drawing it or whatever. But you can purchase it online. I'll have them numbered so you know which one's which. So I guess we should start our drawing. So Justin, okay, now you can stand up. Let's see if you're on screen here. She's not on screen. Oh, magically. Our magic bunny just... So this is Lauren Ipsum. She's also an artist, and she's a fantastic model because she draws people. What am I doing? I don't know. I took a really long break for the holidays, and I got sick for about a month. It was brutal.
I've never drawn this small before.
It's crazy, right?
This is weird.
You should work better because then you're working faster, but
No, it works much not better.
I know.
Well, typically when you do gesture drawings, you want to work larger so that you can use your entire arm to get the gesture. If you're just finagling with your wrist, it becomes much less of a gesture drawing.
Oh, see, I use my arm even this small. That's why I gave you the big piece of board. I'm using a Pentel brush pen. I call it my magic pen because it makes everything look awesome. Bunny ears. Ah, where's my focus? So, we've set up the camera so that people can draw along with us. Lauren is in poses. I think you guys can see the poses. Yeah. I think in post I'll put some of my brother's music in to make these scenes more interesting. And one thing you guys will learn by watching these is that it's really hard for artists to talk and draw at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. Little bunny tail. It's freaking ridiculous. Christine, what kind of, when you do life drawing, what kind of paper and tools do you like to use?
I use a normal wooden pencil, typically the cheaper kind.
A two?
Usually there's some kind of Totoro or bear on it. But I also just use normal bond paper. There's the Canson Biggie sketchbook. That is pretty typical and great to use.
Sketchbooks are freaking expensive.
Oh, that one is it's like gigantic, and it does not, or actually it has I don't know, I think it's 100 pages or something.
That's what I'm talking about.
But it's huge. It's like 18 by 24, which is what I typically like if I'm doing this kind of thing.
I lost mine, that's why you don't have it.
It's okay.
I left it at a drawing thing, apparently.
It's okay.
Ooh, it's so long. Stand to your right. This way a little bit. No, this way. More. That's good. Oh man, this feels good and complicated. Christine, have we ever life drawn together?
I modeled for you once, and I did the Silent Hill thing.
Oh, but you didn't draw.
I don't think so, because I'm not much of a hang out and draw person.
Well, I'm glad I swindled you into this.
I know, you totally did. This was not part of the plan.
But it's nice.
It's
to
nice.
hang out.
I'm glad we're hanging out,
Yeah.
and I'm glad people get to see, or at least hear me talk while I draw, because that doesn't happen.
I know, right? Oh, it is hard to loosen up. I can't. What happened to the camera? I need to swap the camera out. There we go. Go this way just a little bit. There you go. I like Lauren's face. She has good features. Lauren, I love your face. Oh boy. Trying to get serious about this.
It's hard when you're talking
Yeah.
and doing all these things at the same time.
You've been going to any art galleries out in New York?
There's a few, but I haven't had too much time to. That wasn't terrible.
That's cool.
Just because I've been working on this stuff for the show, I haven't really gone outside much at all, actually.
I totally know what you mean.
Yeah,
I try. I really do.
I do try.
But then work, you're like, ah.
Yeah, and the art scene in New York is quite different than LA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very different, actually. Especially, well, I always equate LA with the Wild West.
What do you mean?
Well, there's a lot of, as far as money goes, there's a lot of new money here. And it's not as expensive to run a gallery. So there's not a huge expectation to make as much money as New York galleries do.
Oh.
Whereas in New York, they have a ridiculous overhead just to be in New York. And so they absolutely have to just have artists that sell, that they know will sell. So they can't take a risk just because it's not going to make sense. They're going to lose their gallery if they do.
Oh, wow. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. And as far as like the money flow goes, I feel like there's much more, like blue chip fine art galleries are definitely
Blue chip.
where you go.
Like high roller? Is that what that means?
That's like the fancy shit. I guess it's kind of like a high roller.
Blue chip. That sounds really fancy.
Well, it is pretty fancy. That's the like artists like Damien Hirst and Jeff Koons, those people.
Yeah.
Fancy.
That's a whole different world.
Yeah.
I'm like, comics, prints, digital prints, easy access art. But then, it's also time spent on the things.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, I'll make a comic, I'll do a page a day. But that's not, I don't know, it's not anything like spending months painting.
No.
I don't have that kind of attention.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with your ability.
Yeah, it's so different, especially the things we do, just because, I can't draw a million little people a day.
I do feel a little crazy about it.
It's a little crazy, not gonna lie. Yeah, I'm kind of amazed when you do it. But we do such different things.
Yeah. It's kind of warm in here, huh?
It's nice, it's toasty.
Cozy. Sleepy time art class.
It's snowing in New York now.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well, not now, but it just snowed.
Yeah, when we went for Christmas, it was 70 degrees and it was like 50 degrees here.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
That was weird.
Can I curse on this?
I remember your art studio that you had when you were out here in LA.
Mhm.
It was really small.
Yes, it was. Because having a separate studio is expensive.
Yeah. But it's neat that you can work in that space and that they have spaces like that for artists.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now you work out of your home?
Yeah. But in New York, it's tricky because space is so expensive, no matter what the space is. and it's hard to find a decent studio space for a reasonable price. Almost impossible, actually.
Yeah.
Unless I do have a friend who is part of a government subsidized studio space.
Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
It has its benefits and its pros and cons.
Yeah.
Yeah, as everything does.
True. I love working from home, but then it's like, oh my God, I'm always home.
No,
But then we're
yeah,
always home.
I like working from home.
Yeah. Wow, I'm epic failing this today. Oh God. Okay, I'm not selling that one. That one's stupid. How many are we at? 4, 5, 6, 7. So we have one more.
Okay.
I think we should do like a longer pose
Yeah.
because these are frustrating me.
Yeah, we can do whatever you like. You're the boss lady.
Oh, I'm the boss. Have you ever collaborated with anyone?
Oh, nope, not doing that.
Just curious.
No, I'm just a control freak. I've had people want to collaborate, but then there's the problem of, like, one, sometimes you don't want to collaborate with that specific person, and two, like, it just, the work doesn't meld together. You know, it doesn't make sense to collaborate
Oh my
with
God,
somebody.
You totally just lied.
What do you mean?
I was going to agree with you for a second, and then I realized, wait a minute, we did Temple of Art.
Oh yeah, we did that. But to me, that seems, well, that is a collaboration, totally collaboration. But it just, like, for me, I'm okay with collaborating with somebody that does a different medium.
Yeah, I think that's right. I don't.
If it's the same thing, then it gets all weird.
Yeah, I like my colorist. Like, that's as far as I can collaborate, and then story-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I'm done with the gesture drawings. I can't focus on them. I'm so
'Cause
happy
we're
to
also
see
talking.
you. I'm so happy to see you that I'm just like. So you can take a break.
Do you want to
Or
do
have a
twos?
fan. Yeah. Well.
I don't know
is it
how
the
to.
button?
I don't know how to use it though.
It's Dyson. We can just jump into tens.
Let's do fives first.
We'll do fives.
Yeah.
first.
How many do you want to do?
Let's do fives.
Yeah, I like it when you take charge. Are you good? Do you want to take a break, or are you good to go?
Take a couple minute break.
Okay. Yeah. We can look at more of your art
Okay.
if they want to put it on the screen. I keep looking left because we have a preview monitor right here. Da-da-da, more art on the screen. No art on the screen. There we go. I've wanted to post this because it just showed your studio, and it was on your website.
It's allowed.
Yeah. What inspires you? Like, as a human and separately as an artist?
It's the same thing because, well, maybe you don't know, but for most artists, it's, art is life, life is art. It all melds together. So it's not really exactly a job, though technically it is. And so it all melts together. And so there's no inspiration that's like specifically, this is for my art only and this is for my life only, because as we grow and learn as human beings, so does the art. And so for me, I typically don't look at too much other art because I don't like the idea of art becoming a circular view of culture, because if art is already a commentary on our culture and you're already looking at art, then it becomes this really meta thing of like this commentary of our culture and it's another commentary of that.
It's in your art, which is...
Yeah, and it just, it becomes a circular thing, and there's no original voice anymore because it's a commentary on a commentary on a commentary. And so for me, I like to look at everything but art. That also can be up for interpretation as well. But I do love to look at photography and fashion and just talk to people. And learn about people, because most people are very, very interesting, and there's a lot of layers to them, more than they would like to admit, or even you would like to admit. And so when you get to know a person, you get to know all these little nuances about them that they might not even notice, like the way they hold a pencil or sip their tea or whatever. And it could be that blink that they do that is just so inspiring, and you really want to capture the way they close their eyes or whatever.
You're so romantic. That's so lovely. And I think that's really true as artists. And that's what people don't realize that artists do, is we're always looking.
Yeah,
We're always
creepy.
It's totally creepy. And I find myself, especially lately, you know, for the comic, like I have to do so many different poses and facial expressions. I'm just like, I linger too long now.
Mhm.
Whereas I felt like I used to have better charisma, and now I'm just like,
Oh yeah, it gets weird.
I'm like,
You get so
I
bugged
just wanna
out.
watch your hands. I just want to just touch your face again, because that's nice to look at.
Yeah, no, especially after I've like gone through an entire day of painting session and my boyfriend comes home and I'm just looking at him and I can see the very specific colors on his face and what
Yes.
colors to use, and I'm like, block that in, do this and that.
We're like art robots.
Yeah, yeah, and
We're
he's like,
like a Terminator eye. We've got the like, boop, boop, boop. This is Pantone number 57368.
Mhm.
This is cadmium, red number 3 or something.
yeah, and he's trying to have a conversation with me. I'm just like, yes?
Yeah, I think that's why I take so many photos, because I'm just trying to like capture it into my brain harder.
Yes.
Do you use a lot of reference photos
Oh, always.
for everything?
Almost everything. I just, it's just, I like to do that. I don't like to draw from my mind because I love accuracy, and it's just not something I care about.
Yeah. But you're like, the way you color isn't, I mean, I guess like the tones are, but like the color is so unique.
Is
Like
it?
It's totally
I'm
unique.
just like, that's
So
just
I'm
how
like,
I
does
see
she
things.
pick those
That's
things?
just
But yeah, so like how do you decide to use like the muted palettes that you use?
That's just how I see things. Like this room, for example, like the red couch, the red carpet there, the green screen, really bothers me. It's just too much colors.
Yeah.
Like at home, like everything I have is gray or white,
I
light
loved your
brown.
apartment.
Yeah,
It was
and
all like white on white on white, and everything was super organized.
yeah, that's how
and-
my apartment is now in Brooklyn. It's very clean, and most of the furniture is white, and then we have like natural toned wood and gray. Most of the textiles are gray.
Oh, very nice.
Because like, especially when I'm working from home, I don't want crazy colors all the time because I can't concentrate on the colors I'm going to end up putting on the artwork, just because, especially if you have a room that you're working in and it's like blue, it's going to reflect off of whatever you're working on. So it's going to have this weird blue hue to it. So you might end up putting too much orange in whatever you're working
I feel
on.
so dumb because I totally understand what you're saying now, and I've gone through that. I'm like, why is this? And it's because I've got freaking plants growing over me, and there's a lot of green there. So when you say the things, you make them so clear in my brain.
Yeah, like the studio I had when I was living in LA, the floor was painted red, and that was not.
In that small studio?
Yeah, that was not cool.
Not at all.
The second I went in there, I was like, the floor is red.
Did you put a rug on it? How did you
I didn't do anything to it just because I wasn't there for a long time.
Oh, okay.
But like, no, we just noticed different things.
Yeah, that's true. We're different people.
Yes.
Okay, one more about your painting for now. Textures, like they're so dense. Like there's so many textures in your stuff. Like how do you?
And me putting even more into the new ones.
Oh really?
Yeah, I've been doing, I've really gotten this glitter kick where I just want to put glitter on everything. But at first I was putting glitter on everything, and it was very shiny and very exciting. but I've narrowed it down to using individual flecks of glitter to make a polka dot pattern,
What?
which is very relaxing for me because I have OCD. But it also hurts my neck, but that's an aside. But it's relaxing for me, and it's part of me, so it's part of my art because, you know, it's the same thing.
I can't wait to see. That sounds awesome and time consuming.
I had a friend who saw them, and he was like, "Oh my God, you picked all the black glitter out of the entire glitter bottle?" I'm like, "No, they sell black glitter." And then he wasn't impressed anymore. He was like, "Oh."
That's when you say, I did actually do that. Because that's how OCD I am. I'm 10 OCD.
Oh my God.
Well, I can't wait to see that. I really like how you use like the drip techniques and like it feels like I could reach in and peel apart.
No touching.
I'm not gonna touch it, but it feels like I could just take a piece of the layers off and it will expose something else.
Well, that's the fun part because I do paint in lots and lots of layers, and I use very, very thin oil paint. And so once it dries, I put on another transparent layer, so it builds up. So it always has this kind of ghostly feel to it, which ties back to the idea of memories. Because to me, memories are ghosts. They're ghosts in your life, and ghosts are, to me, memories that have imprinted themselves onto places and objects. So it's not really like this is a spirit here and haunting this place, but it's a very specific memory that's been implanted, or that's been it's there. And it's interesting.
That's super interesting. I think it's super interesting, and I'm really glad to like ask you about these. I should ask you about these when we're not in front of a camera, but it's really good to like actually get to sit down and talk about it. You have many layers.
We all do.
We all have layers. Hey Lauren, you ready to
Do some
get
fives.
modeling?
5 fives?
Five
Yeah.
fives.
All right. This app is the best. It's like actually a workout app.
Oh.
Yeah. It does like Tabatas.
That's why it says work out. Okay. So these are 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Oh, look at that. Okay. For those of you watching, you can draw along. Why don't you draw along and then send us images of what you drew, and then we can put them at the end of the next show with your name and your whatever Twitter, Facebook handle you wanna offer us. I think that'd be fun to see what other people are drawing.
Oh yeah.
All the art in all the land. So yeah, audience, just throw on some music, because we're gonna be sitting here doing some serious drawing. In post, before we throw this up on YouTube, I'm going to fill these dead spots with my brother's music, AJ Sorbello. Probably one of his Groove One tracks or his Fractal tracks. He collaborates with people when he DJs. Hey Christine,
Mm-hmm.
can I talk about our game?
Yeah, we can talk about games. That's a pretty fun topic.
So, once upon a time, Christine and I were at a party, and I was wearing, I think, my 20-sided die ring or something similar. And we were talking about Dungeons and Dragons, and she was like, I've always wanted to play Dungeons and Dragons, because that's what she sounds like when we drink.
Did not know this.
And I was like, let's do it right now. Remember we were at Alan's?
Yeah, I remember.
And we didn't have paper or anything. We had a whole little mini adventure in front of everybody. Everyone was like, all right, that's what they're doing right now. And it was like our own little world. It was amazing.
And nobody wanted to talk to us after.
Computers and nerds. But that first moment, yeah, you had to go fight some like frost giants.
Mm-hmm. It's a big deal.
It was a big deal. You were a dwarf, I think?
No, I
Or a
would
wizard?
I never played a dwarf.
There was a dwarf wizard that you came across to get something then.
I don't remember the specifics.
It was very exciting. I also may have had a drink or two. But yeah, so that led to you coming to play with us at Meltdown, here at Meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
And then we ended up in a really fun game that ended up being, 2 years?
2 years. But then we stopped playing at 2 years, but they kept playing for maybe another year. Because I moved.
You moved. That was sad. There was sadness involved.
But I remember I bequeathed a lot of my items to some people that were at my going away party.
Yeah, I think I got a bunch of stuff. And they've been in the same place ever since. Yeah, you started collecting minis and you were dungeon mastering on your own.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool. So we were playing in a homebrew game that started off Dungeons and Dragons, but then turned into something completely different.
Mm-hmm.
To the was that 5 minutes? Oh man.
Yeah.
Lauren, you're so pretty.
Oh, there's Tiny S on there now.
Yeah, there's Tiny S.
Huh. Crazy.
So we had these really cool characters in that Dungeons and Dragons game.
Oh, yeah.
You had this like super assassin that like had this was it an axe?
Warhammer.
A warhammer that was alive or something.
It absorbed memories of people that that had been killed by it.
Hey, you didn't tell me all the secrets about your character. Can you tell me them now?
No, that was it.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there were any other secrets.
Well, you totally dungeon mastered. How was that?
That was interesting. That was really fun. It was a really great group, and because I didn't know the system that well, I did the system that we played with Bruce, and that worked well for me. But when you're dungeon mastering for the first time, there's quite a bit to learn. So
Yeah. I just find that I kind of make it up as I go along, and that's all that really matters.
that's true.
As long as everyone's having fun.
No, that's true.
Because, like,
Why else would you play?
I don't want to, I mean, I have read a lot of supplements,
Mm-hmm.
but if I'm just doing a quick game, and I don't know, I don't want to have to explain everything to people, so
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of throw something together real quick out of my head, kind of like a David Lynch type of dream game,
Mm-hmm.
where like people go through a portal and wake up in a weird thing, and
I remember you always like to do a poo room.
I don't always like to make the poo room, but I thought the poo room was very funny. People were super grossed out about it, and it made me laugh.
It's pretty funny. I like it when you do a poo room. I think it's pretty great.
Yeah. That was the weird, like, slimy creatures.
Yes. Well, it's a poo room.
It made sense. It's like, where else would they be, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, those are cool. Like, they were just, like, made out of black slime, but they were kind of look like Gollum.
Yep.
There we go. Now I've got some grit in here. Whoa, your lines are super straight. Yeah, I think I'm super distracted because I'm so used to just being silly playing with you.
Yeah, I'm terrible at just multitasking and working with people.
Yeah.
And it's actually in my horoscope. It says
Oh,
that I have very, very little compatibility with working with people.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
But you're really good at hanging out with them.
Yeah, if it's playtime, it's playtime forever.
That's right. Playtimeforever.com.
That's my actual website.
It's not, well, yet. Maybe someone will buy it for us. Okay, I'm feeling a little bit better, like I'm getting my groove.
Good.
Yeah. Thanks, 5-minute drawings. Drawings, easy and hard. Drawing is both of those things. When was the last time you did life drawing?
Don't remember.
Really?
I drew a picture of Alex while he was sleeping. I don't know if that counts.
It's only creepy if you're not already sleeping with the person.
Okay.
Can I show your images?
Yeah, yeah. Here, take these.
This is her drawing. This is what it looks like. These are really cool.
If you put it down, you'll get better lighting.
Can they see it?
I don't know.
Yeah, those are super fun.
Well, thanks.
I want to draw a pencil now.
Then you want to grab a pencil.
I have a pencil. I want to draw a pencil. I got all these really cool things. Look at this monster. I never use it.
That's when you need the big sketch pad. There's this really cool store in New York called Goods for the Study, and they are a fancy pencil store, and it's a design art kids heaven.
Oh, cool.
It's like the best shit ever.
How many varieties of pencils can they make?
They have like that big one you're drawing with, but as a mechanical pencil.
What?
So the lead is just really thick.
Oh, wow, that sounds
It's really cool. I actually have one. I didn't bring it, unfortunately. It's in my studio at home.
cool. If people want to see it, they can go on the internet.
Yeah, it's a cool store.
I think this is where my brain is right now. Like, I've been inking like hard for weeks.
All that hard inking.
Hard inking. Having to make the lines all perfect all the time. It's like, ugh. Sometimes you just want to get a little messy. So, Your specific style, do you feel like it's pretty consistent over the years, or do you evolve?
Oh, it always changes. That's the
Yeah?
thing about style. And
Well, some people don't.
well, I think for me at least, it's very, very good to change because that's just human. And change is the only thing you can count on.
Consistent.
Yeah. But I try to avoid being comfortable. I don't want to do one thing forever, and I don't want to be comfortable with anything because that's when you stagnate, and stagnation scares me.
Amen, sister.
So I think it's very, very healthy to try new things, and I don't like to say that I have a style
Mm-hmm.
just because then I'm already pigeonholed into possibly doing something that I don't want to be doing for
Interesting.
however long.
Well, you do commissions, right?
I don't like to.
For that reason?
Definitely for that reason. But it depends because if it's something where they say that I have complete control over it, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. But if it's just like, if they're going to get in my face about things and say that I want this or that, then I don't understand why I'm doing commission because I never started my career to do that kind of thing. It's always
Oh.
been like,
People buy what you make.
yeah, it's whatever I want. And I've been fortunate enough that people like what I do.
I
And
like what you do.
thank you.
Artists are all unique.
Yeah, weird, right?
Yeah. Oh man, I like this so much better right now. I think I'm vibing off of you.
Good.
I'm vibing off of your pencil usage. Lauren, you're like unreal looking. Like you are a walking cartoon lady. So where did you go to school?
I went to school at Art Center College of Design in Pasadena. And I went to school for illustration.
Oh really?
Yeah. And I don't do any illustration. And I think I did one illustration job and I hated it.
So what, okay, so illustration, what's the difference between fine art and illustration?
Illustration is when you have a definite job and you're making an image for a specific thing, like a client, because they're hiring you to do an illustration of like, well, there's different types of illustration. There's editorial illustration and like, I don't know. I don't know too much about it, obviously, because I'm blanking. But I just know that it's not what I do.
It's not your thing.
Not my thing.
Sometimes I wonder, like, you know, I'm an artist and I don't even know the difference.
Well, sometimes there isn't a difference because there are times where the line gets quite blurred. And so it's confusing. Like,
Yeah.
just like how I can't really explain it.
Yeah. We're artists. We do what we do.
Yeah, I think it's more, the explanation is more for the people who don't do it
Yeah.
because then it's easier to understand.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah, you know, the idea of putting a label on something so that you can file it away in your brain.
Yeah.
Because if it's not labeled, then it's just all this junk in your brain.
Yeah, I've been really going over the idea of stereotypes lately in my head.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, you know, you don't want to stereotype. The brain, the social brain's like, don't stereotype, that's not good. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'm thinking, you know, that's what the brain does. The brain puts things in categories so it knows how to relate to them.
Well, I don't think that's necessarily stereotyping, though, in that case. Because stereotyping is typically a derogatory thing. And when you're doing that, you're just categorizing.
Isn't that what stereotypes are?
Not exactly, because stereotypes are more of a caricature.
Uh-huh.
Whereas if you're categorizing, you're just like almost doing it scientifically, saying like, well, Christine is Asian and she has brown hair and brown eyes, and
Asian?
whereas stereotyping would be like, Christine is Asian and she can't drive. Which is
Got it,
completely
okay.
untrue, because I am a
good
fantastic
driver.
driver.
That's the first thing I noticed about you.
That I'm a good
I
driver.
was like, wow, she's Asian and she's a good driver.
So your brain typically
I was
stereotypes.
kidding. I didn't even know you drove.
I drive fantastically.
Circuit lines. Gotta make sure I get them before 5 minutes is up.
I've made Lauren into a noodle person.
Noodle line. I can hear your brain working, Lauren. She wants to say the thing. You do, don't you? Yeah, there we go. Yay!
Look how long her chest got.
I know, right? I gave her a humpback on accident. Yeah, the booty. So, Christine, how do you warm up? Do you warm up
No,
when you're working, or you just hop on in?
I just hop on in just because I don't work. It's not like this.
Mm-hmm.
There's no steps to it. It's very, very intuitive. And there's no like putting down a sketch and then drawing it and then painting it and then doing an underpainting before you paint and all that stuff.
really?
Like, I don't care about any of that.
Oh, wow.
So
when you have your canvas, you just go for it?
it's always different. So I can't
Okay.
I can't exactly say.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, yeah.
How very artistic of you.
I know, how terrible.
Oh, jeez. But you plan out your work.
Oh yes, everything is very planned. But it's hard to explain just because it's very intuitive and there is no set process. So I can't help you right now.
No, no, it's actually really.
I don't have the blood you crave.
Lovely, cute pose. So how long did you go to school for?
4 years.
Did you just graduate? Did you?
No, I graduated 6 years ago now. Jesus.
Wow.
Just fucked up.
Time flies.
Yeah, I'm trying to
When you're
think.
making art.
I'm trying to think when was the last time I did life drawing, other than drawing my boyfriend secretly.
Did you show him?
Yeah. It was sad that his nose was so big. Thought it was a great nose.
Christine,
Mm-hmm.
can I buy you tacos after this?
Yeah, I'm gonna have tacos. That'd be great.
Lauren, can I buy you tacos after this?
There you go.
I don't know what's happening.
What did you say? Tacos and kisses?
Seen that South Park episode?
No. Not yet. I will. Oh no. Problem with pencils is that I like go too much and then she has a beard. And I'm like, God damn it.
Be gentle.
See, I look at this, I'm like, oh, if I just lasso this and expand it.
Nope, this is real life.
then womp womp. I used to love oil painting, but it made me really ill.
Yeah, if you're not doing it,
Severely ill.
if you're not being careful, you can get sick, very sick, and then you become allergic to it, and
That's me.
you'll never be able to do it again.
Yeah, it was our art oil painting class in school.
Yeah, a
It was like,
lot of art schools don't teach proper safety, and that's not okay.
yeah, and it was the same year that they tarred the roofs.
Was that 5?
Yeah. 1, 2, yeah. You could take a break. If you want to go step outside and get some air, you're more than welcome to.
Okay.
Because I know it's really hot in here. Okay, let's see what we got.
I would peek first though, if I
Yeah. Come on in here.
Oh, wearing those leggings that I love.
My one of 2 leggings that I wear. Come over here. And now we can see right down your shirt. Okay,
Wait.
you're the guest. Let's show your
Oh,
art.
try not. There we go.
Christine Wu, everybody.
Aww.
I know, it's super cool, right?
It's awesome.
Thanks, guys.
I like your angles. I know, I love this one. This is really special.
Awesome. Bunny butt.
That's the bunny butt.
Bunny butt.
But even the fast ones are like really cool.
Those are awesome.
Oh, meow.
Meow, meow.
I love seeing how your brain works.
Is it working?
This one works best if you look at it like this. Or like this. And the perspective works better. There you go.
Bunny elf.
You are a bunny elf. I don't know what's happening today. I'm just so excited, and it's hot in here, and trying to think of questions. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, so any of the numbered ones, guys, you're more than welcome to purchase on shopxsn.com. And you can see the little numbers in the corner. Or not, I don't know. Wow,
That's awesome.
bunny butt. Yeah, this is, I usually draw like this. So, you know, I can, it's just the item is flat in front of me. If I draw like this, then I get all warped.
And
so
then we
it's
start falling asleep.
and then I curl up and fall asleep. Do you have any water? Do you need anything?
I got my water. I'll go out and breathe for how long do you want to do a break for?
We'll just do like a 5-minute break because it's 8:21 right now.
Okay.
And then we'll do like a big one. We'll just do like a
Oh,
20
it's
minute.
been over an hour already.
Yeah, I know, it goes by fast.
Timing my break. I'll walk outside and be like, what the fuck is this chick dressed like a Playboy bunny in a comic shop?
That's why. It's a comic shop.
Good point.
How do I? Freedom! So you said you were on a podcast recently.
Yeah, it's not out yet. I don't know when they're going to put it out yet because I don't know what their schedule is. But it's with the blog Empty Kingdom. And so the guy that does podcasts is really great. His name's Henry Kim. And we did a little segment where we just hung out, had coffee. I don't drink coffee. I had a tea. And just talked about art and got really philosophical and existential. And we're like, whoa, gotta back this up. This is getting too deep.
No, but that's the best.
Oh, no, not when it gets like super like nihilistic.
Oh, yeah. No,
None of it
your
matters.
nihilism showing.
Yeah, so it was good though. It was a good podcast. I'm excited for it to come out, especially because he and I had really good energy. I can't wait to go back and hang out with him.
Yeah, you're pretty good with playing with people.
Yes, sometimes I've had a few bad experiences, but don't talk to those people anymore.
Yeah, that's right. Forget those guys. Remember that time where we were on the, we went to a park and we played on the swing set and we jumped around on the,
The things.
yeah, that was really fun. I think we need to do more of that
We can.
in life,
Okay.
but in general as human beings.
Yeah.
It's really hot in here. I feel like we should take a break.
We can take a break.
Yeah. We're going to take a 5-minute break, and we will be right back. And then we'll just cut this up in post.
Okay. Do we take this off?
Yeah. I think that's it. Maybe they're gonna turn it off. Maybe they won't. I don't know.
Did you say stapler?
Stapler.
Stapler?
Yeah.
Stapler? Stapler!
Stapler.
Stapler.
Thanks, Mel.
Are we still on?
I think so, but yeah, we're done. Look at your butt. Right there on the screen. Oh. Wait, can you turn it off yet?
Butt. Funny butt.
Hey Justin, is it off?